Yo, party people, it's Ashley of SingleWomanChronicles.com, where being single is a beautiful choice rather than a miserable circumstance. And today's episode is sponsored by my books, How to Ex Your Ex, a guide to getting past unhealthy relationships, and my fiction novel, Single Woman Chronicles, in Atlanta love story, kinda. In Atlanta. So basically, it's about dating in Atlanta and how it's a love story, kinda, and just really gets into the nitty gritty of the things that we go through, the hurdles that we have to jump through. And these are available on Amazon, books on Google Play, Apple, and Audibles as well. So, yeah, get your listen on. Didn't mean to smack y'all. I hate when I do that. What is that even about? Like, come on. Anywho, for some reason, it just, if you're in Atlanta, you realize that it rains like every single day, or it has been raining every single day. And it's weird because it'll rain for like 30 minutes or an hour, and then the sun will come back out. And it's like hard rain. Like, it's super dark, it's thunder, it's lightning. And I'm saying all this because that's about to happen. So if you guys hear thunder or like crazy sounds, that's what that is. So I apologize in advance. But let's get into it. So today's episode is a letter from the single independent woman. And yes, not a letter to, a letter from, because I am single and I am independent. And I just feel like someone needs to speak up for us. And what's crazy is I went back and forth with myself about doing this episode because I feel like we get so much backlash. We are the topic of so many negative conversations, and I don't understand why. And I felt like someone needed to speak up for us. And in a way that is like vulnerable, but also the truth of the matter, because we get put in this box and we get defined by our relationship status and our ability to be self-sufficient. And I feel like it's really unfair. And no, don't get me wrong, not everyone speaks negatively about us, but the negativity when it comes to being single and when it comes to being independent at the same time, when you're a woman, the negativity is louder and more in your face. It could be only 5% of people being negative, but it's just louder, right? So I just wanted to speak on it and write a letter from us because, again, I just felt the need to speak up because that's my demographic. So I have composed this letter, and bear with me while I read it to you guys because I literally wrote this letter late on Saturday evening because I just had the thought, like, man, it's necessary. Like, why they keep coming for us? It's so much controversy, and people stay condemning us for being single and independent. And it's just like, for what? I'm so confused. But here's my letter. Okay. To whom it may concern, there's been a lot of chatter about the single independent woman, but nobody is asking us how we feel. So let me speak on it. First, I like to say, yes, I am single and independent, but I'm more than that. I'm a daughter, I'm a sister, I'm a friend, I'm someone's inspiration, I'm someone's mentor, and I'm many more things. But society constantly defines me by my relationship status and my self sufficiency. I'm not even upset anymore. I'm more so baffled and confused because isn't the goal to be self sufficient? The opposite of independent is dependent. So is that what you want from me? You want me to solely depend on who besides my Father in heaven? And being single is not my desire. It's just a circumstance that I'm living that I love to change, but it takes two. There's no store I can go buy a man from, so I'm just playing the cards I've been dealt, people. I just plainly want to say this. I am not bitter. I am not unhappy. I am not angry. I'm not headstrong. I'm not uncompromising. I am not so self sufficient that I don't need a man. I don't bash nor brag about not having one. I just haven't met anyone I've clicked with. I actually would love to have someone to help me carry the load, but unfortunately, I haven't had success, so here I am. Healed, happy, and alone. But y'all mad at me. My goal is to continue to be happy and positive in a world that reminds me every day that my biological clock is ticking and how I'm somehow damaged because of my relationship status. But no one stops to empathize with us. No one stops to say maybe she's independent because she has no choice. Or maybe she's single because more and more people are choosing not to marry. Or maybe she's single because statistics show people are getting married at a later age in 2022. Or maybe she's single because she's actually happy single and minding her blessed business. Why are we the demographic that's constantly the topic of negative discussion? Of a negative discussion. But I refuse to apologize for being self-sufficient. I refuse to apologize for being ambitious. I refuse to apologize for choosing to be content in a circumstance that isn't totally my desire, but I've chosen to smile anyway. When y'all can come up with a cure for my self-sufficiency and my single status, holla at your girl. But until then, catch me outside at brunch with my other single independent ladies where we drink mimosas and twerk in our seats. Sincerely, single, independent, and happy. So yeah, I'm going to most likely post this letter in its fullness because yeah, I think it's necessary because I'm just, again, like I said in the letter, I'm not upset. I'm just confused by why people are choosing to take an issue with my independence. Like, I can't be both. Like, I can't be both independent, single, plus happy, plus wanting a man, plus still feeling like I do need a man for companionship. I do need a man for partnership. Like, I would love to come home and not have to pay all the bills, buy the groceries, clean up all the time, cook every single meal, go out by myself, do all this. I would love that, but that's just not my reality. So what do? Like, I think that's the biggest question mark. Like, what do y'all want from us? Like, what is it that you want? Like, I feel like I'm in a scary movie and it's always that one person that's stupid. Like, what do you want from me? Like, what is it? Like, in a perfect world, what do y'all want from a woman who's single and independent? Like, because if she hasn't found someone or someone hasn't found her and she still has to live life, she still has to provide for herself, like, what is it? Not all of us are like so overly ambitious where we're out here like, yeah, I don't need a man, F these. No, we're not all like that. What are you, like, I'm so confused because most of the women that I know who are independent and single, they aren't that because they're not feminine. They're not that because they don't care about men and their appearance. They're that because they just haven't clicked with anyone. And a lot of people aren't really trying to be serious. Let's keep it a book. Look at society today. And I'm saying that because depending on how society is moving, depending on culture, a lot of the time that will paint the picture of our reality. Meaning that if we're in a culture that's talking about my girl got a girlfriend, that's talking about, if she ain't busting it, then I'm not trying to be with her. I'm not trying to talk to her and I want more than one person. It's just all of these subconscious things are being pushed. Like these things of like, if you're a man and you're not making a lot of money, then no one wants you. And men don't understand that's the lie that they're believing. And women are believing that if your body doesn't look a certain way, if you don't look a certain way, then no man is going to want you. And you need to be 110% submissive. And your submission needs to look like cleaning, cooking, working, bearing children at the same time while you're doing all these things and still, being able to function in your mental, be okay, still be happy, still like, it's so weird. It's all jumbled and it doesn't make sense. So it's like, y'all are treating women who just so happen to be single, just so happen to be independent, as if we're making that choice because we have a choice. Like, because most of us, if we could paint this picture, I can't even say most because let me not speak for everybody, but many of us, if we could paint our perfect picture, it would be with someone. It would be not having to be so independent. Bro, like if you gave me the choice, what? yeah, I would still work because I'm just that person that enjoys working, but I want to do all this. What? No. You open this jar. No, you open my door. No, you pay for the vacations. No, you pick the dates. No, you lead this household. No, you do it. You do it. You do it. Go you. Woo. Like that would be the energy, but like that's just not my reality. Another thing I want to tap into, I saw this interview with Keke Palmer, and Keke Palmer made such a great point. She was talking about how a lot of men are defined, their identity is defined by how much money they make. And I see that a lot. But I can't blame them because that's what society has been pouring into their minds, and they believed the narrative, and that's not true. Like, not every woman cares about that kind of stuff. So she was saying that she meets a lot of guys, and because she has her own, because she's like rich and she's independent, like she's not saying she doesn't want a man. She's saying that you cannot impress me by your money, and you have to come harder. So when I'm telling you to come harder, I'm not saying to come harder with buying me more things, buying me more, like a car, buying me this and that. I'm telling you to come harder by giving me something I can actually use, which is your emotions, which is your vulnerability, which is your care, which is your affection, which is your companionship, which is your empathy, which is your compassion. That's what we're asking for. So because I say this, and this is something that I've said before, and I'm just going to reiterate it. I'm going to say this out loud because I be saying it in my brain and to my friends, but I don't think I've ever said this out loud. I think life would be easier if I operated with the mentality of I'm going to trade my body and my femininity for financial gain. What do I mean by that? We live in a society that raps about if he ain't spending money, then I'm not giving him my body. I'm not giving him attention. I'm not giving that, right? So that is a lot of the cultural narrative in 2022. I think it makes more sense for a lot of men to be in the narrative of, okay, well, I need to make the money in order to get the girl because she's saying that if I don't make enough money, then I can't get the vagina. I can't get her attention. I can't get her to get dressed for me and look pretty for me and make me feel good about myself, because that's transactional. That's tangible. Unfortunately, emotions aren't tangible. So a lot of the times, because men are not emotionally intelligent, they can't understand single women who are independent. Because for some reason, when a woman who is independent rejects a man who is defined by this cultural narrative that my money makes me valuable, right? If an independent single woman rejects him, automatically he thinks, oh, she rejected me because she don't need a man and she's too self-sufficient and she just want too much. When really all we're saying is, I just don't need what you're leading with. I need more than that. I need attention. I need emotion. I need connection. Because if we, God forbid, lost everything today, how are you going to show up for me? How can I show up for you if we're not defining this relationship by success? You know what I mean? Like by money, by material things. So that's really what it is. I think we get misread so many times because we just want more. We want the untangible. We want the things that money can't buy. We want conversation. We want friendship. We want compassion and empathy. We just want you to connect with our hearts. That's it. That's all we're asking for. So it just sucks sometimes because we just get a bad rep just because of our demographic. Like automatically because you're single and you're independent, people looking at you like you're crazy. And it's like, that's so weird because isn't that the goal? But then on another note, it's kind of like, if you don't be older, don't be past 25, definitely in your 30s, definitely in your late 30s, definitely in your 40s, they really side-eyeing you now. It's just like automatically they think there's something wrong with you. So it's just weird. But now I want to flip it and I want to talk to the single independent woman. Listen. Stop dumbing yourself down. I don't know who need to hear this. Stop dumbing yourself down and pretending that you're not as intelligent and not as self-sufficient as you are because you're believing that you have to operate in a certain way in order to get a man. That's a lie. Cuz I know the narrative is telling you and screaming at you because again, the lie is a lot of the times louder than the truth. They're telling you that you're too independent to get a man. You blah, 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 this, blah, 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 that. Let me tell you something. The devil is a liar. And I'm going to tell you this because I know this firsthand. Men who actually are about something, who actually are emotionally available, who actually are ambitious, want to lead, want to take care of family, a lot of them they want a woman who has a brain. They want an independent woman. They want that woman who is smart and can do it for herself, but can join in a partnership with you and with them and be a power couple and just be a force, and they can come home and they can talk about their work with or talk about their ambitions with, and she understands it because she has something in her mind to add to the conversation. Not all men just want yes women. Not all men just, bro, like, I'm telling you, stop listening to these negative messages because what you hear will affect what you believe. Stop listening to negative messaging, man. Like, for me, listen, I ain't even gonna lie to you. I kept going into the mindset of, man, I ain't never gonna meet nobody. Man, all dudes are trash these days. It's hard to find a man who loves God. It's hard to find a dude who's emotionally available, blah, 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 blah. The reason was all I was listening to was arguments about that. Or women saying that they dealt with this dude and it's hard out here and blah, 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 blah. I had to shift what I was listening to. So lately, I've been listening to podcasts with married men. Men who will blatantly say, I didn't want a yes woman. I wanted a woman that I didn't have to lead all the time. So if I had a bad day or I just didn't feel like it, I could be like, hey, baby, you choose. Hey, baby, you do this. Hey, baby, you do that. You know how many celebrities right now that I've listened to, comedians, I've heard this like 3 days in a row. I've heard men tell stories about women that they were married to where the woman, at first they both had jobs, but the man, he had a dream and they made a plan where the guy would chase his dream. The woman would say, listen, you chase your dreams. We have a plan. This is the goal. This is how long I'm going to give you for this 3 to 5 year plan. And I'm going to pick up the slack. I'm going to pick up the weight. I got you, baby. And then the guys made it and then they retired their wife. I'm saying this to say, not saying that's not going to be everybody's scenario, but it's teamwork. It's partnership. But like if you're an independent woman, it's easier to slide into a partnership like that. It's easier to slide into a role like that. Because just because you're independent don't mean that you can't be in a partnership or join forces with someone and allow them to lead. Like that doesn't mean that. But for some reason, society just makes it seem like we're all like this. But I know I said a lot, but I'm saying all this to say, ladies, stop feeling like being independent is a flaw. It's not. It's not. Because trust me, y'all, like, I be out here in these streets dating, okay? And when I say in these streets, I don't be outside like that. I'm just saying, I'm out here, I'm single, I'm exploring my options. I don't waste my time on a lot of people because when I figure out you don't want what I want, immediately no. And I have to do that because I don't like being disappointed. I've been disappointed too many times. I don't like wasting my time. I'm not about to continue to have to get over somebody because I knew from jump. Like, that's my bad. That's my fault, right? But ladies, don't believe this narrative. Start listening to more positivity. Start watching shows like Black Love, where you see different scenarios. Start listening to podcasts like, what's the name of that podcast? Oh, I gotta find the name. Hold on, y'all. Because I listened to this. These are two married men. Both of them are married to women who are still are independent women. But they just so happen to be married. Let Us Tell It. That's the name of the podcast. And I just love how they talk. I listen to Here's the Thing with Kev on Stage and Angel. They talk like, I just listen to, or like Dear Future Wifey, those kinds of podcasts where it's positivity on love. So we're not constantly having to feel like it's something wrong with us because we're single and independent. Because my thing is like, why is that looked at as a flaw? I'm not apologizing for being self-sufficient. No, that's stupid. No, I'm not. I'm not. I refuse. I will never. You're crazy. Get out of here. So ladies, just stop. So that again, y'all don't, men, don't come for me. Listen, I like blocking people. Understand it. I ain't about to argue with you. What applies to I ain't finna argue with you? Because this ain't an argument. This is from me. I am a single independent woman. Stop telling me what I think and feel. Folks is quick to, folks who are not you are quick to tell you what you think. How you gonna tell me what I think and you not me? How, Sway? How? So if you come in my comments, you trying to argue with me, and a lot of people, they don't see the title and they'll argue with me. They don't even listen to the full narrative. They just see the title and automatically, oh, she bitter, whatever. We don't want it. All right, that's fine. You gonna get blocked and reported. You're gonna get spammed. You're gonna get it. Because it's just what it is. Because you're not about to ruin my joy with your negativity. Because this is what I'm saying from me personally, because I am the woman who is single and who is independent and who is in her 30s. So I've been on this road for a minute. So we not coming there. I don't need no hateration or no holleration in this dancery. Because I ain't bashing nobody on this. I ain't bashing nobody. I'm talking statistics. I'm talking about what the media shows. I'm talking about what I've experienced. And that's just what it is. I ain't saying all nobody. I ain't saying never nothing. Because when you all women, all men, you ain't gonna hear me talk like that. Because that's not true. I don't believe that. I know there are still men left out here who are wonderful. I know there are still men left out here who love an independent woman. I know there are still men left out here who are compassionate, emotionally available, who love the Lord. I know that. And I'm going to keep believing that because I know that it's true. Because God would never put me on this earth with a desire in my heart to be married and not create a man who wants to be married to me, an independent single woman who loves the Lord. Like, that don't make no sense. It don't make no sense. So have to just shift to positivity. But yeah, this is for the people who have this preconceived notion about women who are single and independent. This is also for the women who are single and independent. I'm still giving y'all hope. Stop believing the lies. Shift what you listening to, what you watching, what's going in your eye and your ear gates. Stop listening to these coaches who telling you you need to be more quote unquote feminine in order to get a man. Stop listening to these folks who telling you you need to change who you are. Like, yeah, it's some stuff. For example, I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I've been dating, and when people call me out on stuff that's true, I'll admit to my flaws. Because I've been independent for so long, it is very hard for me to allow someone else to lead. Now, it's not an aggressive way. It's not like in an aggression type of thing. I'll give you an example. I'm used to planning everything. So typically, if I meet someone, I'm going to take the lead. And if it's a man who's like, you don't have to do that because I got it, it'll be a little bit of back and forth. And the back and forth will look like this. Oh, no, I got it. I like this place over here, blah, blah, blah. And he'll be like, but no, like, I'm telling you, I got it. You ain't got to do. But no, like, I really don't mind, blah, blah, blah. And then he'll just be like, listen, I know you used to having to do this by yourself, but with me, you don't have to do that. And guess what? I'll be like, you right. I don't. Also, I might be a little bit stubborn, you know? And because of that stubbornness, I might do a little back and forth with you. And it's not a rude or aggressive back and forth. I'm very comical. I'm very humorous. Have a great sense of humor. So it's going to be a funny back and forth. So it's going to be a joking back and forth. But at the same time, not everybody want to go through that. So I'm having to work on my stubbornness. I'm having to work on my default leadership. Like, my default is to lead because that's what I've had to do. So But I communicate and I tell people, like, listen, I know my default is to leave. Just have a little patience with me. And I'm telling you, if you tell me to chill, I'm going to chill. I'm not going to argue with you about it. I'm going to be like, you know what? You're right. You got it. You got it. I'll take my hands off. You got it. You got it. So, yeah. Now, if someone's telling you to pay attention to those kinds of things, that makes sense. But if someone's telling you, you need to dress a certain like specific way, you need to answer text a certain way, you need to do this, that, and the other in order to get a man. I'm sorry. When did God make everybody the same? When did God make everybody like the same thing? When did God like what? That don't even make sense to me. So when I see coaches say stuff like that, I be so confused, like, and baffled. Like, y'all listening to this? Y'all really believe in this? All right, I guess if y'all like it, I love it. but yeah. So hopefully this helps somebody, frees somebody. Don't be in my comments with the rah because I'm gonna tell you, it's gonna be a block party. It's a block party, honey. Not about to steal my joy. I'm not gonna go back and forth with you about what I think, because it's my thoughts, it's my mind, it's my life. Like, what are we saying? If you want to have an argument, stitch me, argue with the TikTok, or argue with yourself on your own podcast, which most of you have 2 followers. Leave me out of it, because I'm not about to argue with you. That's just what it is. But all right, y'all have a good week. Make sure you share this content. Make sure you keep listening. You subscribe, you share, you give it where you can rate it. Give it 5 thumbs up, 5 stars, 4 stars, or how many, whatever's the highest amount of stars, give it to that. Like, give it that, please, and thank you. But talk to y'all later. Bye.